Undeniable. Boris sent into cold sweat as new photo evidenced his breaching COVID restriction rules. Boris Johnson has been pictured with wine and cheese alongside his wife and up to 17 staff in the Downing Street garden during lockdown, raising questions over Number 10's insistence a work meeting was taking place. The photograph was shared with The Guardian following Number 10's denial last week that there was a social event on Friday the 15th of May 2020 including wine, spirits and pizza inside and outside the building. Johnson's spokesman said Downing Street staff were working in the garden in the afternoon and evening. However, the picture raises questions over that assertion. Bottles of wine are in evidence, there is a lack of social distancing and 19 people are gathered in groups across the Downing Street terrace and lawn. At the time social mixing between households was limited to 2 people, who could only meet outdoors and at a distance of at least 2 meters. In workplaces, guidance said in-person meetings should only take place if absolutely necessary. Angela Rayner, the deputy leader of the Labour Party, described the picture as a slap in the face of the British public, adding, "The Prime Minister consistently shows us he has no regard for the rules he puts in place for the rest of us." Alleged drinking and partying late into the evening, at Number 10, when the rest of us were only recently getting one daily walk. The Prime Minister has faced a string of allegations of partying and socialising in Number 10 while COVID restrictions were in place. He was forced to order a civil service inquiry, though its head stepped down on Friday over allegations of his own Christmas party. The past week has been described as the worst of the Prime Minister's premiership, with a major rebellion by Conservative MPs over COVID regulations followed by a historic by-election defeat and the shock departure of the Brexit minister, David Frost. In the new image shared with The Guardian, Boris Johnson and Carrie, who appears to be holding their newborn baby, are seen sitting around a table with a cheeseboard and wine, along with 2 people believed to be a civil servant and an aide. Last week Number 10 said Johnson was working in the garden before retiring to his flat at 7 p.m. About 20 staff drank wine and spirits and ate pizza following the press conference on that day, some in offices inside Number 10 and others going into the garden. Some staff stayed drinking until late into the evening, they alleged. The sources described the event as having a celebratory feel given the initial loosening of some restrictions and the good weather in London that day. Boris Johnson has been urged to tell the truth as a photo emerged of the PM and staff gathering in the Number 10 garden, reportedly during the first national lockdown. On Sunday, a spokesman said, "As we said last week, work meetings often take place in the Downing Street garden in the summer months. On this occasion there were staff meetings after a Number 10 press conference. Downing Street is the Prime Minister's home as well as his workplace. The Prime Minister's wife lives in Number 10 and therefore also legitimately uses the garden." After the photographs emerged, Labour's Ms Rayner tweeted, "I guess staff meetings look a bit different if you went to Eton. Enough is enough. Tell us the truth about what was going on in Downing Street from the very beginning." Immediately Boris Johnson. The alleged gathering is one of a number which have been reported across Whitehall during coronavirus restrictions. Senior civil servant Sue Gray has been tasked with investigating the reports after Cabinet Secretary Simon Case was removed from the probe after it was revealed he had known about a quiz held in his department. The latest revelations come at a time when experts are advocating a lockdown to slow the spread of the Omicron variant. Asked whether he could rule out new restrictions before Christmas, Health Secretary Sajid Javid said, "We are assessing the situation. It is very fast-moving. There are no guarantees in this pandemic, I don't think. At this point, we just have to keep everything under review." Mr. Javid said the government was watching the data on an almost hourly basis and listening to its scientific advisors and would balance that against the broader impact of restrictions on things such as businesses and education.